Ariana from Crafting Happiness here. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet the summer garden flower baby blanket, and this is a really simple design. It's made with flower hexagons in 3 different shades of pink, onto which I've crocheted this beautiful leaf stitch border. And in this tutorial I will show you step by step how to create the hexagon, the half hexagons, how to sew them together, how to crochet a base border around your blanket, and then at the end how to crochet this leaf stitch border around it. So let's get started. So let's start making the motifs first, the flower hexagon and the half hexagon. For this I'm using double knit yarn throughout. I've used 3 different shades of pink and a 4mm crochet hook. Now the next flower will be in light pink, and let's start with a magic ring, and then in the magic ring we will make 12 single crochet. Okay, and 12. And now before closing the magic ring, slip stitch into the very first single crochet you have made, and pull the magic ring tail to shut the hole close, like so. Now to save on some of the weaving of the ends, we will crochet over this tail as well. So this is how your first round looks like. You have 12 single crochet in it. Now start with a chain 3, and then into the next stitch make 2 double crochet, and don't forget to weave to crochet over the end. Next we will make a chain 3 and slip stitch into the next stitch, and of course over the end. And this is your repeat section. We will make 6 petals in total like this, so we need to make 5 more. I'll show you 1 more and then skip to the next round. So chain 3, and then into the next stitch make 2 double crochet, then chain 3 and slip stitch into the next stitch. So repeat this 4 more times all around until you reach the beginning of the round. So now I am on my last petal, and I just wanted to show you, when you slip stitch into the next, it's actually the same stitch where you started the first petal. So that's where you're supposed to slip stitch on your last petal. And this is your second round. It's got 6 petals around. Now we need to create another round of petals, and for that we need a base at the back onto which to crochet them. So let's do that. Chain 3, and now rotate your work, and we'll be working on the back of the flower, and we will slip stitch into that stitch in between petals, the stitch where you slip stitch previously, right here. So insert your hook between the 2 loops. I will show you closer once I can push my hook through. All right, so between both loops, and then slip stitch. And this is your repeat section. Again, chain 3, slip stitch in between petals, and we need to have 6 of these chain 3. sections. So chain 3, that's another repeat, and then slip stitch between the petals. Chain 3 and slip stitch between petals. And the last one is the same, in between petals, find those 2 loops like that and slip stitch. Now we have the base at the back of the flower. This is how it looks like. You have these chain spaces. We will crochet the next round of petals, and to do that, first you have to slip stitch into that chain 3 space and then make the petal. And the petal is made by chaining 3 and then 4 double crochet in the same chain space, and then chain 3 and slip stitch into the same chain space. And that's your repeat section. You slip stitch into the next chain space and make a chain 3, 4 double crochet, a chain 3, slip stitch, all in that chain 3 space. Now I'll show you another repeat. Push the petals forward so you can expose the chain. So slip stitch into the next chain space, chain 3, and then 4 double crochet, chain 3, and then slip stitch into the same chain space. And again, that's one repeat. Now repeat this 4 more times. You need to have 6 petals in total. And this is how your second round of petals looks like. And from the back as well, you can see they were crocheted into those chain 2. Now we need to start creating the hexagon underneath it, and again we will need some sort of base onto which to crochet the rounds. Now we are creating the same chain 3 spaces, so start by chaining 3, turn your work around, we'll be working on the back of your flower, and find the same place where you slip stitch before between the petals, and just slip stitch in there. And that's your repeat. Chain 3, slip stitch between the petals. So another repeat, chain 3, and then find the same space where you slip stitch before and make another slip stitch. And we need 6 of these chain 3s. So we have 3 so far. 4, 5, and the last one 6, and we will slip stitch into the same last loop that we slip stitched before. And from the front there's no difference, but from the back you will see we have a base onto which to crochet now the hexagon. And now all we have to do is slip stitch into the next chain 3 space available, and then chain 3, and then make 3 double crochet. All right, now chain 2 and skip to the next chain space and make 4 double crochet. like this, and this is your repeat section. Chain 2, 4 double crochet in the next space, and so on until you have crocheted into the last. Now again, chain 2 and into the next chain space, make 4 double crochet, chain 2 and 4 double crochet, and so on. So now from the back you can see we have 6 sections. These chain 2s are the corners of the hexagon. Now all you have to do is close this round. So we're going to chain 2 and slip stitch at the top of chain 3 we've made at the beginning. And this is our let's say 5th round if you count the bases that we've created. Now the last round we start by chaining 3. This counts as a double crochet as always, and then we single crochet in each of the stitches. So 3 stitches, 3 double crochet. Okay, now we've reached the chain 2 space. We will make here a corner stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 2 and double crochet. And now we are onto a next section of the hexagon, a new side, and we will make a double crochet in each of the 4 stitches. So that's 4. And then into the chain 2 space, we make a double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet, all in that same chain 2 space. And this is your repeat section. 4 double crochet, 1 in each of the stitches below, and then in a chain 2 space, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So now we repeat this around until we reach the beginning of the round. And this is how it looks like from the front. This is how it looks like from the back. Again, we have these 6 sections of the hexagon, and all we have to do now is close the round by slip stitching in a top chain 3, and then cut the yarn and pull through, and we will weave in this end, and this is how the flower hexagon looks like. Now we will have to make a bunch of them, and then at the end I will show you how to sew them together before creating the border around it. Now let's start with the half hexagon. To start the half hexagon, we will make a magic ring again, and then in that magic ring we will chain 3 and then make 6 double crochet. So this is what we have so far. Now we will not work in the round, we will not close the round. We will work back and forth like we will do with a regular crochet. Now pull the magic ring tail tight and close it. And this is our first row, let's say, of the half hexagon. Now turn your work and chain 2. And this counts as a double crochet as always. Then into the same stitch, in the very first stitch, we will make a double crochet, and then we will make 2 double crochet in each of these stitches around. So you have 6 more stitches we will make that 6 more times. So 2 double crochet, or a double crochet increase, how is also known, in each of the stitches around. Okay. And your very last double crochet increase, or 2 double crochet in the same stitch, will be in the top chain of the chain 3. Remember, chain 3 always counts as a double crochet. So at the top of it, we will make 2 double crochet, and you will have in this row 14 stitches. That's 1 and 2 in that chain. Okay, so this is the second row, and now into the third one we will start again. Turn, remember to turn, and we will start with a chain 3, which is a double crochet, and then we double crochet in the first stitch again. So this very first stitch here at the beginning, make a double crochet, then make 4 more double crochet. So that's 1, and then 2, 3, and 4. So 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. Now we need to create the corners of the half hexagon, and to do that, into the next stitch we will make a double crochet, then chain 2, and then into the same space we make 2 double crochet. That's 1 and the second, and this is your corner stitch for this half hexagon. Now 1 double crochet in next 2 stitches, so that's 1 double crochet and second double crochet, and again we need to create the next corner for this half hexagon. Make 1 double crochet, then another double crochet, and then chain 2, and into the same space make a double crochet. So basically like this one, but opposite, because we want these extra stitches to be right here at the top. So this one had 1 double crochet, chain 2 double crochet. This one has 2 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. Now 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And into the last stitch we make 2 double crochet. Now remember, this is a chain 3 that you made at the beginning of previous row. Into the top chain you make 2 double crochet. So that's 1 and 2, and this is your half hexagon. Pretty simple, 3 rows. Now cut the yarn, leave a long tail, because we will use this tail to sew the hexagon to the rest of the blanket. So a relatively long tail, cut it off, and slip stitch and pull through, fasten off basically. Now we need to weave in this end, and we are ready to connect the pieces. And now it's time to connect the flower hexagons and the half hexagons to the blanket. The way I arrange these flowers, it's very random. There's no pattern to it. I will upload a picture of it, so maybe if you want to copy it and place them in the same location. But basically, I don't put more than 3 of the same color together. So, and the easiest way that I found to join hexagons is first connect them in strips like this. So there will be a lot of ends to weave, but after that you connect the strips together like this. So let me show you how I do it with the invisible seam. method, you will need a darning needle and a yarn in one of the colors that the flowers are. So in this case I'll use this light pink to join these two, but it's the same method to join every single one. Now another trick would be to use, for example, for these 3 pieces, you'll use the pink, join through here, weave in the end to the next corner and join here, and that way you'll only have 2 ends for 3 pieces instead of 4 ends. So that will halve your ends and hopefully make it faster to make. You won't see the yarn through here, and I think in a way it's even more secure. So in this case I'll just join this little part, but if I was to start from here, I will choose this purple. I will join here, weave it through, and then join here, and then cut the yarn, and I'll just have 2 ends. Now let me show you how I join it. You'll need the same yarn like I said, and just cut a piece, and then let's start doing. And it's a pretty simple technique. I've covered it before, but I will show you again. Now let's put it that way. We will only join one side of the hexagon at this time, so from one corner to another corner. Let me put the camera lower so you can see better, and we will start from this chain 2 in the corners. Just insert your needle through the middle of the stitch, so between the front and back loop, insert it through and back up through the middle of the next stitch, and just leave a tail that you will weave in later. And now whatever we do on this side, we mirror it in the next in the other hexagon side. And again, through the middle, see if you can see, down and up through the middle of the next stitch. And you don't have to tighten the stitches, you can leave them quite loose. Now we never insert the needle into the same stitch again. So we've pulled the yarn through this stitch, we will continue into the following stitch. We go in the middle, down and up through the next. And again, you can, like I said, leave them quite loose. Now we mirror it on the other side, through the middle and up. And we just go back and forth like this. Never insert the needle into the same stitch twice, either coming up, out or in. And just mirror what you do on one, you do on the other. Now we stop inserting the needle right here in the chain 2 space. That's our last stitch. And then we do the same onto the purple one. And that is it. And this is what we have so far. And now all you have to do is hold the end and pull tight. And this is how it looks like. You will leave a nice edge, like they will be attached next to each other, but the yarn is completely invisible. Now just weave in this end, and then we weave in the other one, a few stitches back and forth through here, and then move it through the hexagon with the same color, and then we hide it behind the stitches. So we just go underneath the stitches like so. Then backwards, make sure you go around one of the stitches, so underneath, just to lock it, and then back a couple of stitches, and that's how you weave it in. And then cut the yarn short. Now all you have to do is weave in this end as well, and then before attaching the half hexagons, you have to attach the strips together, and this is done in the same way with the same method that we used before. I will just show you very quickly. The most important thing is that the sides need to match. So you attach side by side to each other, and the corners come into these dips. That's the only thing that you need to pay attention to. Whatever you do on this side, you have to do on the other side. Right, so let's choose the same yarn. It doesn't really matter, it will be invisible. Let's cut a longer strip, a longer piece of yarn. And I'll show you how to start this. So again, we start in the corner and just insert your needle through the middle and up. And then whatever you do on this side, like I said, you do it on this side as well. So again, those two chains that you made in the corner, insert through the middle and out through the middle of the next one. And don't pull the stitches. We are going to do one side and pull the other side and pull, and so on. So again, remember never to insert your needle through the same stitch. This yarn came out through this stitch, we move to the next one, in and out. Then into the next. This is where it came out, so we're not going to use this stitch. In and out. And so on until we go, we finish the entire side. And just make sure you're not pulling the tail, that stays there loose. If it so happens that you don't have enough stitches on one side, you can insert it in the same stitch, it's fine. But ideally, you shouldn't, you should match them. So this goes in and out through here. And again into the last, into that corner there, the chain twos. Okay. Alright, so this is how it looks like now. All you have to do, hold this tail and pull. And this is how it looks like. Now, you finished into the light pink one. Your next stitch should be into the darker pink. So again, insert your hook in and out. And then move to the purple one. The yarn came through here, so we move it into the next. In and out. And so on. Let's finish this side as well. Let the stitches loose, it's fine. This is gonna be easier, not so many ends to weave in. They are long strips. You should do them on the length of the blanket, so not on the width, on the length. Attach them like this, and then strips one by one. Okay, down to our last stitch on this side, and through the corner of the purple. And again, this is how it looks like. Now just pull the yarn. Make sure you don't pull too tight. You don't want to curl the edges or pucker. You just want it to be flat like this. Now, this is how it looks like. Now, just continue like this. Join all your strips, and once that is done, it will look something like this. I already did a couple of rows, strips. Let me move this aside. This is what we have here. As you can see, I never join more than two of the same color together. You'll also will have to join 3. If you have 3 of the same color around, it's fine, but no more than 3. So this is the sample. Now once that was done, you can sew the half hexagon the same in each of these dips on the edges, on the width edges of the blanket. The long edges will stay like this. It actually looks quite nice, but this was too much of a dip to leave it empty. So we put these half hexagons that look like this. Now, once you sew all these strips together and you put the half hexagons on each of the sides, it's time to make the border. Before starting any border, we will have to crochet a base border around the blanket, and this is because we need to create stitches along these half hexagons. Here you have these double crochet stitches. We need to create nice stitches onto which to crochet the border. Otherwise, we don't know how many stitches we have around, and we will have to calculate for the border. So let me show you how to make the base border first. Make a slip knot and then join in any corner. So for the blanket, the corners will be this chain 2 spaces right in a corner. These are your corner stitches. All these dips are not corners. So let's start here with green. It's double knit yarn like the rest of it, and the same 4mm crochet hook. So we just make a slip stitch and we join the yarn, and then in this corner we make 3 single crochet. So all the corners have 3 single crochet, and then we make a single crochet in each of the stitches. Okay, so all around these edges we make single crochet stitches. I also crocheted over my end, so that's another end that I don't have to weave in. Now we reached a half hexagon. This is what I wanted to show you how to do. Into each of these, around each of these double crochet stitches, we will make 2 single crochet. So just insert your hook underneath and around it and make 2 single crochet. It's pretty simple. And then into the next double crochet, around it, make 2 single crochet. And again, another double crochet, around it, make 2 single crochet. Now we move into the other half of the half hexagon, and the same. It will be a bit tighter, but it's always better to have tighter stitches which you can loosen up than have loose stitches that will curl up your border. So 2 single crochet around each of these double crochet posts. And now we are back to regular stitches. Make single crochet stitches in each stitch until you reach the next chain 2 space. All right, so this is the last stitch. Now this is at the corner, as you can see. This is the most corner on the edge, and we will make 3 single crochet in it. That's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going along the blanket. Now along the blanket you have these corners that are not really corners. We will not make 3 double crochet in them. We will just crochet normally and just make 2 double crochet, like treat them like they are a double crochet post. So let me show you what I mean. a single crochet in each stitch as usual. Like so. And now we've reached one of these hexagon corners. Like I said, don't treat them like the corners. You only have 4 corners on your blanket. On this, we will just make 2 single crochet, sorry. So 2 single crochet. And we continue again with a single crochet in each stitch until we get to the next chain 2 space. And we are not treating these dips as anything different. We just make 1 single crochet and then 1 single crochet into the next and continue like so. All right, so now we are back to next chain 2 space, and again 2 single crochet. Now this is how it will look like. It will not be completely straight. It doesn't really matter. On this side, it's pretty straight. It will straighten up once you crochet the border, the leaf stitch border around it. Just continue like this all around. Don't forget the corners, which are these, 3 in each. Then in each of these chain 2 space, 2 single crochet, and around the double crochet post, 2 single crochet. So I'll finish this quickly and come back and show you how to start your border. So now I've reached the beginning of the round, and we will slip stitch in the first single crochet we've made, and our base border is complete. This is how it looks like. So like I said, flat here and with ridges here. All right, so now I will show you how to start your border. The leaf stitch border has 2 rounds, and we don't need to cut the yarn. We continue in the round, and we will start from the corner. Now the corner will be the second of the 3 single crochet we've made in that corner chain 2 space. So to bring the yarn there into that middle single crochet, make a slip stitch, and then chain 3, counts as a double crochet, then chain 1 and a double crochet in the same stitch. And this is a V-stitch. A V-stitch is formed out of 2 double crochet separated by a chain. So we made 3 chains. That's 1 double crochet, then a chain 1, then a double crochet. Now into the same stitch, we will chain 2 and make another V-stitch. So like I said, double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. And this is your corner pattern, 2 V-stitches separated by chain 2. Now this border pattern requires you to have multiples of 6 plus 1 chains or stitches along the edge. That includes those corner stitches on either side. Because the blanket is so big, it's almost impossible to know how many stitches you're gonna have prior to crocheting them. You can calculate if you like, but you can also adjust the pattern to fit. I will show you how to do that in this video. So let's continue with this. We'll make this edge and see if we have 6 stitches plus 1. So we already used 1. Now skip 2 stitches and into the 3rd make a V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1 and then double crochet, and then skip 2. So this is your repeat section, V-stitch and skip 2, and then in 3rd one another repeat will be V-stitch and then skip 2. Let me show you another repeat. So in a 3rd stitch, V-stitch, and then we skip 2. and again V-stitch, another repeat. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then skip 2. Now you can calculate as you approach the edge, calculate and see, okay, do I have uneven numbers of V-stitches? So basically this is how you calculate. You need to have uneven numbers of V-stitches, like in this case 3, 5, 7, whatever the uneven number it is. You can calculate if you skip 2 and you have 4, skip to 5, skip to 6, skip to 7, skip to 8, skip to, and the stitch will come here. Now after you make the 9th one, you need to skip 2 and have your corner stitch, but in this case you only have 1 stitch in between, and then you have your corner stitch there. So what you have to do is actually get 1 extra stitch, and to do that, instead of skipping 2, we will skip 1 at some point along the edge, and that will free another stitch where we can skip here at the end. So let's do that quickly. So again, we skip 2 and we make a V-stitch, and then skip 2 and another V-stitch, and now at this point we will just skip 1 just to free up 1 stitch. So just skip 1. This is the easiest way to recover stitches. Skip 1 and then make a V-stitch. It's not visible in the overall project. If you look, it's not very visible unless you actually count the stitches. So let's see if we calculate it right. Skip 2 and make the next V-stitch. Skip 2, another V-stitch, skip 2, V-stitch, and let's see if we have uneven numbers of V-stitches. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we should be fine. And now we skip 2 and we can create the next corner stitches. Now on each side, this is your repeat section. We make the corner stitches, which are 2 V-stitches separated by a chain 2, and then V-stitches along the edge separated by 2 stitches. And this is how you crochet along each edge. Now I will just start this edge just for you to see again how it works out, and then I'll just speed up and meet you here at the end. So let's start with the corner stitches. We skip 2 now into the corner. We make a V-stitch in that stitch, and then we chain 2, and in the same stitch another V-stitch. And again, along this edge, you need to have an even number or numbers of V-stitches. Whatever the number it is, it has to be uneven. So we skip 2 and we make a V-stitch. Then we skip 2, and that's our repeat section. V-stitch, skip 2. And just repeat that all around. Now I won't bore you with more of this. You know what to do. You've seen how I've done this. I will just crochet this around until the end, and then a slip stitch at the top of chain 3 to close the round. And this is how your first round looks like. I've made these V-stitches all around. These are the corners, as you can see here, 2 V-stitches in each corner, and then V-stitch every other 3 stitches along. So now I've closed the round with a slip stitch into the chain 3 space we've made at the beginning, and we are ready to continue with our second and last round. And this round, it's crocheted into the chain 1 spaces of each V-stitch. So don't count any stitches. you don't need to care about that. All you have to do is crochet in the chain 1 spaces, except in the corners where we also crochet in this chain 2 space. So now we need to move our yarn into the chain 1 space of the first V-stitch, and we can start our second round. And to do that, we do chain 3. This counts as a double crochet, and then we make 5 more double crochet in that chain space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this will make in total 6 double crochet, including that chain 3 space. Now let me put the camera lower so you can see better, and continue with the next step. And the next step is making 4 double crochet into that chain 2 space between the V stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we will create a picot stitch, which is the tip of each leaf. And to make a picot stitch, chain 3 and then slip stitch in the base stitch. So we are not slip stitching in these chains. We are going to insert the hook into the front loop and third loop of the base stitch. So these 2 loops, and then make a slip stitch. And this is our picot stitch and the tip of each leaf. Now 4 more double crochet in that chain 2 space. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And we move into the next space, which is the chain 1 of the V stitch in that corner. So 6 double crochet in that chain 1 space. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is your corner leaf. This is how it looks like. And these ones are made just in the corners. Now into the next chain 1 space, we will make a single crochet to attach the leaf to the round below, and next we will make a leaf stitch along the edge. So to do that, we will start with 4 double crochet into the next chain 1 space. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, we need to create the tip of the leaf by making a picot stitch, chain 3, and slip stitch into the base stitch. So pick up the front loop and the third loop. So it looks like. And then slip stitch. And into the same chain 1 space, make 4 more double crochet. And 4. And into the next chain 1 space, we make a single crochet to attach the leaf to the round below. And this is how it looks like. This is a leaf stitch, and this is your repeat section for the edge. And what you do is create this leaf stitch by making 4 double crochet, picot stitch, 4 double crochet into the chain 1 space of the V-stitch, and then single crochet into the next V-stitch. So like I said, this is your repeat section. Let me show you another repeat. So make 4 double crochet into that chain 1 space of the next V-stitch, and then a picot stitch, slip stitch at the base of the stitch. There you go, like that, and then 4 double crochet into the same chain space. So we've got 3, one more, and then single crochet into the next chain 1 space, and this is your repeat. Now repeat this across until you have single crochet into the last V-stitch, and we are ready to make the leaf stitch, the corner leaf stitch into the next corner. So now I've made leaf stitches all along the edge. As you can see, I single crocheted into the last V-stitch before the corner, and this is how it looks like, and this is your repeat section for each edge. You make a corner leaf here, and then these leaf stitches all along the edge, and so on each side. So I will speed up the video. I won't make it too long and too boring. If you need to see again how it's done, just rewind and see how I made the big leaf stitch in a corner, and then these tiny little leaf stitches along the edge, and just repeat that on either side. So now I have finished crocheting the second round, and this is how the leaf stitch border looks like, and overall. And this is how you crochet this beautiful summer garden flower baby blanket. And I hope my tutorial was easy to follow. If you have any questions about any part of this tutorial, don't hesitate to ask me in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer you. Happy crocheting!